the 2024 presidential race heats up, the Republican frontrunners' legal woes are far from over. On Friday, a New York judge in Trump's civil fraud case ordered him to pay hundreds of millions of dollars. A CBS News campaign reporter and attorney Katrina Kaufman is here now to talk a little bit about this. So this was pretty stunning conclusion. Katrina, how can we expect Trump to fight this civil fraud ruling? Because the expectation is he's going to fight. He always appeals.
Of course, yeah, he will always appeal. Basically, the next step here is that the judge has made his decision, but a judgment still has to be entered, and that's actually what Trump will appeal. And also, once that judgment is entered, the state can start to enforce it. So that's when they could start freezing his bank accounts, trying to sell off his properties to enforce this judgment. But what Trump will probably do is he'll also apply for an emergency stay to get a pause on the judgment while he appeals the case.
So does that mean, if he gets that, does that mean, any fines that would have been accrued because he wasn't paying, does that also sort of pause that? Do you know? Okay,
that is a good question.
I threw that question at you. I'm so sorry. I was just curious.
I'm assuming if they stay the judgment, I would assume that would also pause the interest, but I'm not 100% on that one.
What about this federal election case? He's requested a delay on that.
Yes, the Fani Willis case. So that had hearings last week, and now the judge hasn't made a ruling on that yet. He is still going to be talking with one of the witnesses this week because there was some information and there's debate over whether it's protected by attorney-client privilege. So the judge is going to have a closed-door meeting with him, make an assessment of that, and then we may have another hearing on this. And also the lawyers will have their closing arguments. And at that point, the judge will decide whether or not Fani Willis is conflicted out of this case, if she's disqualified, which would also disqualify her entire office and put this case in jeopardy, or if the case can just move forward and we can leave these allegations behind us.
I don't know what you guys thought of the fact that the judge did not have her back the next day. Was that because he thought that her point had been made, or?
She was supposed to. I think it was.
She was supposed to be there the day that they had her dad.
I think it was that the state didn't have any more questions for her.
Is that what it was?
I believe
and not
so.
that the judge.
I don't think the judge makes that decision.
Because I thought that the day before he said we'll see you back here tomorrow morning, and then she didn't appear. So I was curious about that.
Yeah, my understanding was that it's because the state decided they didn't have any more questions for her that day.
Okay. So there's another election interference case. It's a federal one. It's in D.C. This is the one where he was arguing presidential immunity, that he did not win that claim. So then where do we go from here? Because he appealed to the Supreme Court, right? Or he asked the Supreme Court to look at it?
He has asked for a stay. So basically, the federal appeals court decided that Trump is not immune from federal prosecution. That would allow Jack Smith's case against him in D.C. to move forward. Trump is asking the Supreme Court for an emergency stay to pause the case. And now, last week, there was some back and forth between Trump and Special Prosecutor Jack Smith, and now it's in the Supreme Court's hands. They can make a decision on the stay. They can decide to pause the ruling. They could also decide whether or not they want to take this case. So we may even hear from them this week about that.
Wow. All right. As usual, lots going on.
Yep. Katrina, thank you as always. Appreciate it.
Thank you.